Hey guys, what is up? It's Biff and you're watching another episode of Fearless Mods. Today we're looking into some issues I've been having with the car. Starting to get almost like a wheel bearing sound, like a bad wheel bearing. So I drove it to Ohio and it was pretty loud in the back end, it sounded like. So I was thinking maybe there was something with the suspension in the rear based on the wreck that was just accelerating the wear on a bearing or something back there. So I rotated the tires and the sound moved to the front. So that seemed odd because I think I've only got about 9,000 miles on these tires. What's causing these tires to do this? That's what we got to figure out. The fronts are worn, but that makes sense because of the camber. The rears are worn with a little bit of camber, but they also have this bubbling going on, and the tires obviously have some kind of a defect. Every now and then it feels like when I get on it, I can almost hear like a bolt scraping and rubbing again, like I did when that engine mount was sliding up and down in there when it didn't have a bolt on it. So while I'm doing an oil change, I'm down here checking that stuff out, and I found something here on the right side, which is where I've been getting a few weird noises. Also, when I reverse, backing out of a parking spot, I can hear something moving. It's kind of weird, a metally sound of something moving. Additionally, I chewed up the inner edges of my tires worse on the right side than on the left side. So if we come under here and you look up to that shiny silver spot right about there, where the top part just below the hat is moving. So I need to get in there and check that out and find out why that is moving around. I know the 3 bolts that hold the top hat in are secure, but for some reason that part underneath there is getting some movement, and that seems to be causing the problem. I'm going to look at the other side just to see how it's behaving, and you can see that it is not doing the same, is not having the same issue. So that would explain why it's only on the right side. We will look into that and see if that's something that needs to be reviewed on both of them. So the interesting thing is I had already looked at it from the top here to see if there was anything that could show that it was moving. And you don't see any scrapes here where these are moving back and forth, but look, that's finger tight right there. So that is the issue. This one is also. So I need to get those back into position. All right, if I hit on that wheel, you can see that's the noise I'm hearing, as well as the movement I'm getting. I'm gonna go ahead and get that set up and tighten down. All 4 of those were loose. Ready to get a another alignment on that. So if you look at this tire, I've marked some areas, but this tire should roll smoothly as I just kind of roll it along here, give it a little push. Look at it trying to knock itself over. It's not rolling smoothly at all. Something is causing that on the back. It's more than just that inner edge wear. You can see here where it's really these inner lugs. Not only are they gone, but it's not uniform like they are on the other ones. You got a hump here and here with deep wear here and here. Those are not skids or anything else, because that's not how I've been driving the car. It makes no sense why that inner edge would be hit so hard on a rear tire, which should be running pretty uniform contact to the ground. So I will check the rear after I finish this oil change. Okay, I don't know what's going on back here, but I did replace, once upon a time, this lug because it was, I don't know, cross-threaded or something like that, and had to replace it. Well, now I had 2 more. Even though I just rotated these last week, I got 2 more that you can see me fighting with there. These things are hotter than hell. and the threads are all freaking essentially gone. It's just nasty. This one's not as bad, but both of these are. Tip of that one's gone, and this one partway back is gone. So I don't know what's up with these lugs, but something for us to consider. I'm gonna have to go ahead and get 2 more of these anyways and pull this off and fix that. So add that to the list. So meanwhile, my plan is to go ahead and get in here and raise this up a little bit higher and check out some of the top, if I can see up in there, and see if there's been any movement at the top of those caps at all. And then that will kind of help me, or if there's been anything else going on that might be causing that wear. As you could probably see on the tires, those originally were the front tires and have been on the front since I had them replaced, and they're pretty evenly worn. Even though that front screwed up recently with that looseness in there and has been exaggerating some of the wear on the right side, I don't think that that has been really the contributing factor to the bumpiness in the tire. That came from the back end before I moved them forward. And so I want to try to find out what's causing that back here. Not really seeing back there any reasons why there should be any abnormal wear. Right side is worse than the left, as we know. Who knows what order these tires and wheels went back on the car at any point after the wreck. There is potential that we have a bent wheel still that could be contributing to this. While I have an email out to Discount Tire to talk about these tires and the fact that they wore out so quickly and unevenly, I do still also think that maybe I want to go get a road force balance on these wheels so that I can find out if there's something else going on besides what I see in that one tire, and see if there's perhaps a bent wheel that could be contributing to that uneven wear. Might have been bent in the wreck, they might have been able to balance it out, but it could just be causing enough uneven wear on the tire to cause it to bubble and hump on that inner edge. The back end did slide around and slap something that damaged the right side rear suspension that we did a little bit of replacing on. In addition, obviously the front left was severely damaged, and so who knows which wheels went where. The fact that all 4 of these wheels were able to be run for another almost 25-30,000 miles and not cause major problems or vibrations. I mean, it's been running great, it's been running smooth, is pretty remarkable. So maybe just a little bit more digging into it, see if we got a little bit of a bent wheel situation going on, and then you know what, maybe it's time to just go ahead and upgrade wheels anyways. I've been wanting to do that, and so maybe the time is now. If I got to put new sneakers on the STi, maybe I need some new feet to put them on. All right, so we are here at Firestone. You can see here a little bit of a road force demonstration here, what that balance does, how it's a little bit different from a normal balance.
So that's a standard balance. You just spin the wheel and it runs at 35 miles per hour. That's standard. Yeah. And then we'll run through a road course. So it's only 0.25 off on standard balance. So with the road course, it checks to see if the tire's out around comparative to the rim. So if you got an oblong tire, this detects it. Yeah. So you're not hopping down the road.
Exactly. So after the road force balance with my wheels and tires, you could see that essentially I had a pretty bad, they actually saw a spot on the wheel here where it's kind of bent, and that combined with the rotation of the tire was causing about 36 pounds of road force that tire is beating the road with every time it rotates around. I still need to be able to drive this for a little while, and they're not totally trashed yet. I do have a nail in one of the tires, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that and put a plug in it and put this thing back together. Tires are all on. All I'm gonna do is check air pressure in all of them and get them all set. Obviously I let some out of this one when I was reaming out that nail hole and putting in a plug. The 2 lug bolts on that side are stripped, or the nuts are, or both. So I was unable to tighten them down and get any torque on them, though they did somewhat thread on. There will be a couple of those here in a couple of days. I have them coming in. Fresh oil, tighten coilovers, nail plugged, know what our problem is with our bent wheel and our strip lugs. But now that we got all those done, what I want to do is one more thing in the coilover area, because I've been hearing this squeak in the dash in the upper right portion that I haven't been able to locate, and I just want to do some investigative work to see what it is. So I'm going to put a GoPro down in the wheel well, and we're going to take a couple little drives around the parking lot here, and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. First, you can see I lubed up the suspension with some WD-40, and I'm just checking to see if there's anything going on there that looks like it could correspond to the noise. The movements are really small and don't appear to be causing it. And now you can clearly see that the coilover is the thing that is causing the noises every time it plunges. It almost sounds like a machined aluminum disc inside of a machined aluminum cylinder, just kind of how you get that rubbing sound. Devin at Fortunato told us to put some WD-40 on the top of this shaft after I showed him these last 2 little clips you just saw. So we're going to put some WD-40 on the top of this shaft underneath the dust boot and go take it for another drive and see if that has any effect on our problem. Bottom, we'll let this come back down for dust shield. I'm running the spare tire on here right now because I'm trying to isolate any problems with that bad tire. Plus it gives me more room because I'm just driving around the parking lot, but I'm putting the light up here, you know, sticking it magnetically on here and putting my GoPro down here and giving a view of this so we can see what it's doing. Alright guys, that looks like that's going to be about it. We went ahead and fixed the loose coilover and then subsequently fixed the squeaking problem that it had. Lug bolts on the rear, 1 on the left, 2 on the right. I think I've done 4 total at this point. 89 foot-pounds of torque. Is that too high for that? I mean, that's what the book calls for, so I'm going to go less on these when I torque them up. I don't know if this is a common Subaru problem, but it sure seems to be. We did get confirmation that the wheel had a slight bend to it. We'll find out again when we go to get new rubber on them. We'll have another chance to look at it at that point because these tires are done and we're getting rid of them. That'll be coming up next, so please stay tuned. We'll decide what to do with that. I might even change a wheel bearing either in the front or back on the right side if I can isolate anything. I didn't notice anything on the rears while I had it apart. Something's causing that tire to chew up, and I hope it was the wheel, but I'm not 100% positive. But at least it's a step in the right direction. We're ready to rock and roll with some new tires, maybe some new wheels. We'll see what's next. But it is about time to upgrade and start moving on to the mods part of Fearless Mods. So maybe that's what's next. So you'll just have to stay tuned. Anyway, I know it's been a while for the Subaru, but thanks for watching, and please stay tuned and we'll catch you again real soon. Take care.